Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hubar begins now.
Tasmanian patients are waiting longer for care at our public hospitals, some up to 1,000 days, despite their cases being labelled urgent. The concerning findings hinting at chronic understaffing across the board, triggering calls for more than a band-aid solution.
The waiting room becoming an all too familiar spot for too many Tasmanians.
We're seeing children waiting almost a year for urgent appointments in the northwest. We've seen wait lists for neurosurgery and other specialties blowing out in the north and in the south.
Tasmanian Health Service data shows estimated outpatient wait times skyrocketing. At the Royal Hobart Hospital, urgent neurosurgery patients are waiting more than 1,000 days for care. The reasonable agreed time by clinicians is 30. While at the LGH, non-urgent respiratory patients could wait almost 6 years.
Many patients are waiting too long to even make it to the waiting list to receive elective surgery, and certainly that waiting list is growing all the time.
The Nurses Union claims there are ongoing reports of hospital understaffing. Despite that, a government committee move to make budget savings will consider whether vacant jobs need to be filled. The industry concerned that could have widespread impacts.
It's obviously something that will be spread across government, and it's important to note that our government's committed to investing in those frontline services.
But the AMA argues any loss to staff from catering to cleaning would impact patient care.
At the end of the day, the health system is about caring for patients, right place, right time, and we're not doing that.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
There's concerns tonight about Australia's oldest running asylum, which sits in the heart of Tasmania's Derwent Valley. Community members calling for immediate action in the form of a master plan to protect a piece of Tasmania's history.
If walls could talk, these ones would have a lot to say. Built in 1827, Willow Court was used as an asylum before transitioning into a hospital.
This predates Port Arthur. It's got so much local and national significance, it's worth saving.
After various community workshops, some locals are calling for the history to be protected.
What we're looking for is some support to get a master plan organised that encompasses the whole area here.
The site, located on council land, is woven deep into the fabric of New Norfolk. The group says a master plan would benefit the entire community.
There's opportunities for our young people to learn a whole lot of skills in hospitality, tourism, heritage restoration, tourism guiding.
With a master plan, we can see the full potential future use of this site.
Local council will decide if a master plan is needed. The state government willing to support that proposal.
Ultimately, this is a facility that's owned by the council, but we're always keen to see what other opportunities are available.
Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmania News.
Sporting clubs across the state are tapping into their share of a $10 million funding pool. The state government has selected recipients for a grants program as local codes look to grow their game.
Tee off on a major upgrade to Ulverston Golf Club's championship course as its ageing irrigation system nears retirement.
It breaks down every year, and this has just been a big cost every year for at least the last 5 years.
The club's now preparing to swing a new $650,000 irrigation system into action.
It's going to improve the overall turf quality of the course, so we're going to see better accessibility, playability.
Keeping up the green, more rounds made possible thanks to a $500,000 funding boost from the state government.
It's quite a large sum. It's not a sum that the club would be able to undertake itself. Having this grant means that we won't be passing these extra costs on to our members.
The popular Northwest Club among those making the most of the funding pool as the Tasmanian Active Infrastructure Grants Program looks to keep more sporting clubs moving.
To ensure that those clubs can make the essential upgrades that they need to encourage the next generation of participants to keep active and healthy.
And drives more Tasmanians to stay fit.
Getting more people out and playing sport like golf and a whole range of others is key.
Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News.
It's taken 8 days, 350 kilometres and a whole lot of support. But today, former Premier Peter Gutwein finished the final leg of his trek from Burnie to Glenorchy, raising money for Tasmania's refugee and migrant communities. He says the $50,000 raised will go a long way.
Extend the cultural awareness service that we provide so that we can reach out to more businesses, more schools, more service clubs.
Politicians, friends and members of the migrant community joining him for the final kilometre this morning before a well-earned break this afternoon. Tasmania's police union is pleading with the state government not to introduce any spending cuts ahead of September's state budget. The union says to do so could result in more officers suffering stress-related illness and quitting the force.
We lost 37 police officers last month to resignations and retirements. 31 of those were resignations, so that's telling a story.
There are currently more than 100 union members off work on workers' compensation. The government says it's willing to increase the number of officers in Tasmania, adding it values community safety. The Federal Immigration Minister has confirmed he's seeking advice on visa options for an Indian student left paralysed after an alleged attack in Hobart. Devashi Deka's family calling for him to be granted permanent residency, which would allow him to receive ongoing medical care and support in Tasmania.
It wouldn't be appropriate for me to comment until I've had an opportunity to consider that and make a decision, but it is a matter of great concern to me.
Andrew Giles today confirming he hadn't met with the Deka family during his Tassie trip, while a Greens petition has seen 6,000 people call for Dev to be allowed to stay. For some, Dark Mofo's winter feast can be overwhelming with its large crowds and loud noises, resulting in sensory overload. That's why Dark Mofo has partnered with a local organisation to provide sensory-friendly sessions without crowds or sensory triggers, ensuring all can enjoy the feast's atmosphere.
Being able to just enter before the crowds arrive and find your space and check the area out is a really great opportunity to feel comfortable and included.
Often events like this can be overwhelming for lots of different reasons, and I think just creating a bit of space where people can feel comfortable is really important as a society.
The next sensory-friendly session will be held next Sunday at 3 o'clock. You can register on the Dark Mofo website.
Good evening. 13 was the state's top today in Burnie, 12 in Devonport, Hobart and Launceston reaching 11 degrees. 12 across Lowhead and St Helens, 13 in Smithton and a high of 2 degrees in Lyowini. Cloud created overcast conditions across most of the state today, apart from the northwest and King Island. Further out, a mid to high level cloud band streams through WA into West and South Australia with some embedded thunderstorms. Tomorrow shows a high pressure ridge to the west of Tasmania with showers across the south, central and eastern areas. South to southeasterly winds tomorrow 15 to 25 knots, reaching 30 knots about the east. Swells up to 4 metres in the west and south and below 1 metre in the north. A strong wind warning is current for Bank Strait, Franklin Sound, Flinders Island and the east coast. Tomorrow's forecast now 11 and showers across Hobart and Dover, a possible shower in Ouse. In the north, Launceston and Scottsdale partly cloudy, mostly sunny in Devonport. Burnie and Strawn tomorrow reaching 12 degrees, mostly sunny in Stanley. 12 across St Helens and Swansea and cloudy in Ross. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast now, Tuesday fine apart from light showers about parts of the south and east. Wednesday morning frost and fog with light showers about the south and east. And Thursday possible showers about the far northwest with light showers across the south and east of the state. Capital cities 20 and partly cloudy in Perth tomorrow, 14 in Melbourne and a shower or two in Sydney.